Hey everybody, Aquarium Basics here. Um, what I want to talk about, and it's going to be an experiment that I'm going to do, is just let the plants grow as much as they can and not trim them at all. And the reason why is this: it's beard algae. It's been real bad. I mean, it's not been that bad. The plants are thriving, but the beard algae, if you let the lower levels get too much of it, or too much of the light, they can end up getting the beard algae at earlier stages of plants growth and lower level plant growth. So what I'm thinking, it's kind of interesting, is just letting the big plants that need the light so much, let them just take over that top. And I've seen that even though the beard algae is higher up, closer to the light and stuff like that, it's actually keeping the beard algae from getting onto the bottom of the tank. So, yeah, I try to stay focused here. It's basically, the question is, a girl at PetSmart said to me that plants are somewhat toxic to the fish and they don't help with water quality. And I want to really break that myth, and nothing personal, because a lot of those girls do know a lot, and guys. But what I'm saying is that she was getting that the plants are toxic to the fish and that they're not really worth having. And now we know all about the fact that PetSmart really sells no plants. They have a very small variety. They have a little shelf of some pretty expensive, and a lot of them are very small growth, like they've not really had any time to mature as a plant and stuff. So, and that's their way of keeping things like snails and things off them, is to just not have them sitting around so long and getting them out of the factory. But the thing is that too many plants. I think that nothing has helped my water quality more than the plants themselves. And it's interesting because as I was doing this, I was investing in things for the fish to be healthier, their chemicals and things, and really, instead of just investing in more plants. I mean, so it's funny because you would think like I'm after just that plant look, and that's what I'm trying to do, is fill it up. But it's strange enough that it's taught me that it's actually the best way, because bacteria grows on the plants that also are part of that nitrogen cycle, and so it actually creates a lot more like basically solid material in the tank to allow that bacteria to form. So sorry to repeat myself there. And anyway, the question is, though, like I said, her debunk, or my debunk, or what she said is that it's not toxic to the fish. I can't imagine that any fish store or any kind of aquarium supply that would be selling any kind of plant, I doubt it would be a real problem at all. So, what I'm thinking is this is going to be a little series of like letting it fully grow out, because one thing I've been acknowledging is that a lot of guys don't have much time. A lot of people don't, and I'm a little vain on that I have a little more free time. But the guy that can only check up on this once a month versus every 2 weeks, which is huge, really, because every 2 weeks will give you pretty solid maintenance on this. But if you had a guy who really just didn't have much time, once a month, a good water change and stuff. But in this case, the question is, can it handle that? Because if the blower bulkhead gets clogged up or something, just little things that really, when you get this many plants in the tank, that's what starts to happen, is they start filling up stuff, and it's not a problem really. I mean, the fish have a little harder time getting to the food. But yeah, please, the original part of this video is that I've talked about plants and caring for plants, but here I'm talking about the fact that the fish need some space to swim, and they need definitely some light. I mean, some don't like the light so much, and some do. And then if a plant grows too big, it'll take over. If a plant gets too much light when it's younger, it'll have beard algae issues. And so my theory is that if you have like completely packed with plants, would that ecosphere take those extra phosphates and minerals out of the water, and then actually, keep that water at a much cleaner level of nutrients, because the plants are taking up the nutrients. And so even the fish on some level are taking up the nutrients. But the problem is when there's an excess of it, that's when the beard algae happens, and it's phosphates and things like that. So, I think personally, more plants the merrier. I mean, if you want a tank that takes, let's just say, a maximum of every 2 week kind of maintenance, that the more plants the merrier, because it'll help you not have to worry about the water quality so bad. And, I'm not going to lie to you, I have a canister filter, so that and a bulkhead, which you need. And but the thing is, too, is that it is beautiful. I mean, I don't want to, explain the obvious with this, but I mean, the more plants, too, to me, it's that nature. I've talked about it before, the neurotropic factor in nature, and how it makes you more mellow, it makes you a more, natural person, basically. So, this is doing that for me, and I think it would for anybody. So, yeah, I just, what I'm getting at is that this is not too many plants. And in the past, many times, I have manicured and trimmed it to keep it much more open, to give space for the littler grass and things. And now I'm thinking, well, should I just almost go with exactly the opposite and just have it be completely overgrown? And so here's what's going on, is that the reason I made this video is that right now it's the most overgrown it has ever been for my aquarium. Maybe once or twice close, but I'm getting at that. Normally I do the manicuring, and I'm going to do maybe one more update of what this is 2 weeks down the road. And I just want to see, how thick can this get, and still, obviously, you'll know if it's causing a fish a problem. They'll exhibit that it's causing them a problem. But yeah, I just want to kind of actually just promote that you can have as many as you can, and it's actually, you're going to have better luck with buying, okay, if you go to the aquarium store and you buy yourself $30, $40 in plants, well, how much would you spend on a filter, just for your tank? If you get 3 of them in a pack, that's your $20 right there. So, you've got, $10 more to get something that would, blow that little thing away. So there's just so much, and it's sad because I found myself rambling on my YouTube videos, and I just don't want to be, going into too much. And it's a big flaw of good teachers, is that they tend to want to give you a whole lot at one time. And so, one thing here too is I think I'm trying to just promote the beauty of it. I'm just trying to, right now show how thick this is and how cool. I think it looks great, and I'm just wondering if this helps the beard algae or if it doesn't. And just wondering a lot, because I think also the idea of manicuring things a lot is somewhat, not abusive, but I mean the plant, you don't want to be chopping on a plant. I mean, that is not, plants do not like to be just chopped up. Here, let me take off 4 or 5 of your, leaves because you're just too big for the aquarium, so. And yeah, and I'm trying to keep this on topic, and I think I am. It's just that, I really want everyone to know that you can really have as many plants as you can put in there. And some might struggle because some might take over. Some, if you do it right, keep things manicured, they'll all grow up together, and kind of this is pretty unison, as you can see. This is a unison, growth. There's a little thickness there on the middle left, obviously, but, I'm trying to still keep some light to things. But, and I also question the light to the fish, because that is a bright light. I mean, I've got like a 47 watt LED on a fish tank, and it I can imagine that, I guess the fish can't even close their eyes. So, okay, now I'm really rambling, okay, is that fish can't close their eyes, and the light is beaming in on their, eye socket, whatever, retina, And it's just they have to deal with that. So actually, I think that little bit of dark overgrown area is good too, because I think they actually like to have a little bit of get away from the light. It's not that they mind the light that much. It's just that they actually kind of like taking a duck in and getting a little in the dark area too. So yeah, I think really growing this many plants and packing them in is a win-win. I really do. Don't let anybody discourage you. I mean, this is a real win-win. I've got a lot of neat things happening. I got this, and that sad thing is I don't know the names. I got a really cool kind of, it grows and throws roots out up in the air, and it kind of has grabbed a hold of that wood on the right, and just it's made almost like, yeah, like Amazon or some of those trees, with the roots above ground and stuff. So, uh, let's just say that go for the plants that look like they're strong. They'll exhibit a sign of strength in the store. You're going to see one that's taken up the tank and the other that's just got its almost yellowed out leaves. Don't buy that. No matter what the guy says, get what's obviously thriving in the store, and yeah, pack plants in, and I didn't have a lot of money, and certainly I didn't buy all these plants. What I did is the plants that I bought, I did a good job of breaking up and dispersing in different areas, and the and I don't want to discourage you from the large plecostomus. I don't want to discourage you, but they do tend to want to kick the plants around, and they tend to stir up the plants, as do even the little catfish, whatever. So they obviously have lived in the tank, and I've pulled it off, but that big one, it really does stir a lot up, so I'm not sure that I would recommend that either. But it too even just gets around with all these plants. It just kind of pushes its way into wherever it wants to go, and I think they're all figuring that out, that they can push the plants around to get into the different areas. And so I think that we're really, we're looking at the fact that the more plants, the merrier. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm going to end the video here with that. The more plants, the merrier. And, is this too many plants? No, it's not. There's, more the merrier.